everybody, this is Moo.
And this is Fuji.
We just got back from Ghost in the Shell live action.
Live action Ghost in the Shell. Okay, let's get this out of the way first. Go watch this movie.
Yeah, actually.
This was a good movie.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I enjoyed this a lot, and I think other people should go see it.
I think if you like Ghost in the Shell, if you like the original movie...
Or the anime.
If you like Ghost in the Shell, go see this movie, because this was everything that, like, if I was wanting a live action Ghost in the Shell movie, this had everything that I wanted in it.
It pretty much is Ghost in the Shell.
It is Ghost in the Shell.
It's just another adaptation of Ghost in the Shell.
I would have believed that Mamoru Oshii directed this movie.
No wonder he approved of it, because there's dogs in it.
Okay, let's list the things that are in this movie. Basset hounds are in this movie.
Good.
Togusa's stupid mullet is in this movie.
Good. Bato.
Bato being a gentleman is in this movie.
Makoto, the major, she take off her clothes all the time.
All the time.
But there's no nips.
There are no nips.
That's why it's PG-13.
That is a big difference from this movie and the other movie, is there are no nipples in this movie.
But she still takes off all her clothes.
All the time.
Whenever she can, because the major does what she wants.
And the pacing of this movie, this is why I do say, if you like Ghost in the Shell, go see this movie. If you are not familiar with Ghost in the Shell, this might be a little bit difficult, because this movie follows the established pacing of Ghost in the Shell, which is 3 minutes of action and then 20 minutes of navel gazing.
Even in the anime, it's pretty close to that.
Okay, for full disclosure, I have not watched Standalone Complex, so I'm not familiar with that one, but...
I have watched both of the movies, 1 and 2. I have watched Standalone Complex. I read some of the manga a long time. Now, granted, me, with all this stuff for Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex, I watched it when I was a teenager, so this is a long time ago now.
We did watch...
But I do remember it pretty well, honestly.
I do have...
my first anime.
I have the original movie, so we did actually watch the original on DVD before we went. And man, it's an 80-minute movie, and it feels like you're watching for like 3 hours.
Oh my god, it does. You're just sitting there like, whew, alright, so here's some more rain, and then granted, this movie, it's not a bad movie, it really isn't. It's just...
I'd say it's a good movie.
It's a long movie.
It's a long movie.
It's just like, if you like a lot of navel gazing and action scenes, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
Same with this one, honestly, except I think it was a little bit more dynamic, if that makes any sense.
I think it was absolutely more dynamic. Yeah. It's a 2-hour movie. Truthfully, it felt like they got everything that they needed for it to be a Ghost in the Shell movie in 2 hours. Yeah. And I mean, like, things move really nicely. There's lots of references, to the previous stuff.
And to Psychopaths, apparently, because the director, Mamoru Oshii, thank you. He also directed some episodes of Psychopaths, so and Psychopaths takes a lot from Ghost in the Shell, and I guess they decided to return the favor.
I'm curious to know what they watched before they made this movie.
I think Ghost in the Psychopaths.
that would be a different movie.
I mean, that would be very interesting if they did a crossover, but Psychopaths is probably one of them, I imagine. And the movie, they definitely saw the original movies and the anime, and probably have at least looked through the manga, but I don't remember very much of the manga because
lesbian three-way. That's what I remember.
There were almost lesbians.
I bet there will be. I bet there's a deleted scene with lesbians.
Of course there is, like, ready for the unrated version of Ghost in the Shell.
I mean, the original's unrated. There's no rating on it.
Put her nips back in, and then there's a lesbian sex scene. There you go, that's the unrated version of Ghost in the Shell, if they ever make one. I mean, I doubt it, but anyway.
Okay, so...
Next topic.
Okay, still talking about things that this had, I was really happy. Spider Tank was in it.
Oh, yeah, it's your favorite character,
Spider Tank is my favorite character. Shooting the symbolic tree of life was somehow in this. I legitimately face palmed.
Yeah, and even better, it didn't look like a tree of life, but you knew
what it was.
It was had things carved on it. And I'm like, it's the fucking tree of life, just like from the original movie.
You know what it is.
Oh, and by the way, spoilers for everything Ghost in the Shell related.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. Like,
it's an old-ass movie. You should have seen it by now.
Old-ass anime, for that matter. That was 2003 and 4.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, that's a really long time ago.
And sort of related to that, so there were certain things that are not in this movie. So, for example, the Puppet Master is made into a different character.
Yeah, it's about the Puppet Masters, just all in but name mostly.
Yeah, pretty much. The backstory for the Puppet Master is a little bit different, and honestly, it made more sense. The Puppet Master, a lot less weird, honestly. Puppet Master makes no damn sense.
And no Lucifer symbolism.
No Lucifer symbolism. But, okay, so the Puppet Master equivalent is in a male body. And I was like, I almost wonder if that's because there have been so many shout-outs to the Puppet Master's body in other things. Like, it's an ex machina.
It is an ex machina.
It is literally an ex machina.
Like, when she opens the closet, you'll see
and
it.
I flipped out. I pointed at the screen. I said,
"That's Ghost in the Shell!"
It's from Ghost in the Shell.
When we watched it, yeah, you're just like, "Oh, it's Ghost in the Shell." I'm like, "Oh my god, you're right, it's Ghost in the Shell."
And, like, also, like, The Matrix, you know, clearly is heavily derived from certain concepts of Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, speaking of The Matrix, I know since they can't use the green falling letters, they used every color but green. And when they did use green, it was against, like, that wall that looked like it was all spark.
It looked like the falling letters. I appreciated that a lot.
I think that's actually very clever. Good job, guys.
Okay, and also, I think Beat Takeshi was, like, my favorite thing in this movie. I was explaining to Moo that Beat Takeshi is incredibly famous.
Oh, you should say what character he's playing in this one.
He's playing Aramaki. So he's
boss man.
The head of Section 9. And there's a scene where his character's in trouble, and Moo was like, "Oh no," and I was like, nah, it's Beat Takeshi. They can't kill him.
If they kill him, I'm pretty sure that's how Japan will kill all of us.
Okay, I can't look him up. He's super famous.
Basically, he's Clint Eastwood equivalent to famous, if that makes sense.
It's just, he's been famous for so long, and he's just, like, consistently and really popular.
Him plus Scarlett Johansson, that's why this movie's gonna make a fuck ton of money in Japan.
I really think that it will. Okay, so let's
address... Should we get to the elephant in the room?
Elephant in the room. Okay, Scarlett Johansson playing Motoko. Okay, so I have a lot of thoughts on this.
You go ahead first, man.
My conclusion is I think it was great. It was really well played to me, I think, on several levels. Okay, and the first level, of course, is that Scarlett Johansson pulls in movie audiences.
She does.
You know, people see that she's in a movie and they like her and they go see her in a movie. And I'm, you know, honestly more familiar with Japanese media than I am with American media, and I know that Scarlett Johansson's really popular in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, her being in this movie, I think, will really draw a lot of people in the Asian market
who aren't there for Beat Takeshi. They'll come for just Johansson.
But this is the thing. So in this movie, more so than previous iterations of Ghost in the Shell, at least that I've seen, the thing is that the Major is not really comfortable with her body.
No.
Like, the way that she acts, you know, she acts really blasé about it. You know, she's always running around naked, and, you know, she basically, you know, tears it up all the time. You know, she treats her body disposably.
She does.
And I think that actually it comes from a position of not really being comfortable with it, because if the Major, you know, and I'm talking about the original movie here, if she was comfortable with her body and with being a cyborg and with being artificial, then we wouldn't have that scene on the boat with her and Bato, and she's all like, you know, am I real? Like, am I only real because, you know, people treat me like I'm real?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fact that she is artificial is a huge, like, driving complex with her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is. Is she? If I remember correctly, she's pretty much the only character, at least in Section 9, that is completely artificial. Like, only her brain is organic.
Yeah, she's the only one. And actually, it comes up that she doesn't even know if her brain is organic, because she has a line where she says, no one, you know, no human has seen their own brain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and because in Standalone Complex, she has a backstory that she thinks she knows, but in the end, by the end of the anime, you're not 100% sure if it was real, if that's exactly how it went down, and they don't really answer that because it's supposed to be ambiguous. But you know, otherwise, the Major hasn't had a backstory besides that one season Standalone Complex.
And so I think that, you know, this movie took the focus a little bit off of the artificiality and more onto the idea of identity.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I think, you know, besides it being pretty obviously a cash grab to have Scarlett Johansson headline your movie, thematically, I think it is really important that her race did change. And I say this as an Asian American.
Mm-hmm.
I am first generation on one side, so my father was an immigrant, and then on the other side, we've been here for a long time, but my mother did spend time overseas. So I'm familiar with, you know, sort of the immigrant experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a racial minority. I'm Asian. And I think that something that might be lost on a white American audience watching is that when you are a racial minority, it's something you're always aware of. You know, like every day, you know, you kind of think about, you know, ways that you're different, especially me, because I live in a really high white population area.
That's what happens when you're in the Midwest.
Yeah, it's like 98% white. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, to me, that's something that I'm always aware of. And I think maybe because I have that minority experience, you know, if I were to lose that aspect, you know, if I were to wake up and be in a white body, it would be really shocking. Like, that would be a really core aspect of me that's taken away. And so I think that maybe this is something that'll hit, you know, especially with a Japanese audience, because, you know, Japanese people have this culture that they're very proud of. It's a culture that goes back thousands and thousands of years.
Oh, yes.
And I think, like, the shock of not having that identity anymore is something that can't really be conveyed well in words.
It was also, like, in, like I said, we're doing spoilers. The plot twist of the movie for the Major is that it turns out she isn't who she was told she was. She was told that her name is Mira Killian something.
Mira Killian.
Killian, okay. She was told she's that. She's told that she
was on a boat.
Yeah, with her parents.
With refugees.
And then the terrorists blew it up and she almost died, and they saved her brain and or ghost and put it in the shell. Anyway, and that's what she was told. Turns out that's not true. She was
a runaway.
She was a Japanese runaway and she would live with a bunch of other runaways, and it
looked like they were all Japanese also.
So basically, it's that one plump. It's Striker from Persona 3, essentially. No, I was just thinking, oh, it's Striker from Persona 3, because they took away kids off the street and experimented on them. Same thing. And she was the successful one, and so her name is really Motoko. I'm sorry, I can't.
There's too many characters named Makoto, you're right.
Yeah, there's so many, and they all pronounce it differently depending on the dub.
That was something that this movie didn't have, which was Bato running in slow motion, screaming Motoko. That's mine.
Oh man, how dare you set up? We're having a deep discussion here.
I know.
We gotta do our navel gazing right now. Anyway, so that was the plot point, and this was leaked to the internet early, and a lot of people didn't like it because, I guess, I don't know, like, at the end she meets her mother, who's Japanese, and so,
her mother, tells her her real name and everything.
Yeah, and they, like, unite at the end, and because I'm a huge sap for that, I'm just like, but, a lot of people didn't like that plot point, but in the end, this is, from me, like, I'm white, so I don't know, I guess you could take or leave my opinion on this, but, like, it was pretty meaningful, honestly, at the end, and, like, having something like robbed for her, but she still goes back and reclaims it. She's able to reclaim her family, basically, and she's able to reclaim her identity. At the end of the movie, she has, I'm the Major.
And I think it's something that wouldn't have worked as well if either the character was always a white character, or if her shell was Japanese.
Yeah, I think so.
I think, like, if you want to get to this, like, core idea of your identity being erased, like, that's one of the most powerful ways to do it.
I thought it was very powerful. Like, I mean, I guess it would sound bad if you just, like, said it, but, like, when you're watching it and the build-up towards it, when you find that out...
And to be honest, I had guessed this.
Something. I mean, yeah, you did. Like,
I guessed this a long time ago.
I found this out, and then, I was, like, talking to Fuji online, and I'm like, oh man, this plot twist is really making people mad, and
I said, oh, is she actually Japanese the whole time?
And I was like, do you want me to confirm it? The answer is yes.
But knowing that it was going to be a movie about individuality, like, that seemed really obvious to me. Also knowing, the source material, where it came from and everything like that. Also, Mamoru Oshii referred to her as Motoko in his interview, so...
He did, yeah, so I guess that should have been a giveaway. So, like, I don't know, I guess... And in the end, I think that Scarlett Johansson does look like the Major, like...
I think she absolutely looks like the Major.
The Major doesn't really look Japanese, and I'm saying this comparing this to other characters in the show who are explicitly like, this person
like the
is
best
Asian, Japanese.
The best character to compare to is Togusa,
because
we know
he was in this movie. Yes, like that. It was his ugly mullet and all.
I can't believe he has a mullet in 2017.
I'm so glad he had a mullet.
I was so angry. I facepalmed at that too. Okay,
you were dying in the seat, man.
Because we know canonically that the only the character with the least cybernetic upgrades is Togusa, and from his name also, it's really clear that he is Asian, he is Japanese. And to me, watching Ghost in the Shell, I always felt just that the way the Major was drawn made her look really foreign.
Also, she's supposed to be kind of like androgynous in all aspects, like how her body is and how her face looks.
Like a plot point too is that, like, even her gender is kind of a construct, because they make a joke about this at the beginning of the first Ghost in the Shell, which if you haven't watched in Japanese, at the part where Bato comments that, like, oh, you have a lot of static in your head today, what's going on? In English, she says, oh, it must be a loose wire. In Japanese, she says, it must be that time of the month. Which is a joke because she has a cybernetic body. She doesn't
menstruate.
She can't reproduce. Like, and that's
That's actually a plot point in that movie.
That is a plot point in that
movie. Which thankfully they didn't transfer to here because that plot point's kind of weird.
That would have been weird.
I'm kind of glad they didn't do that. Like, because at the end of the original Ghost in the Shell, she and Puppet Master have a child.
They like merge their consciousness and then they're reborn into a child body.
And there's like this angel metaphors and I'm just like, I don't know what you guys are doing.
But see, what I like about this movie, I like that they didn't do that because I was like,
I'm glad they didn't do that.
Because I was like, are they gonna have her fuse with like Hideo and have him like come with her? But no, because she just reclaimed her actual identity at the end of the movie, and I like them showing that, you know, she's continuing on, you know, with this identity that she just reclaimed instead of like, you know, mushing it together with somebody else's and starting over.
I like that she did that too. Like, I mean, it's pretty much for an American adaptation, this is what would happen, I think. Like, you know, to emphasize individuality more than the original version, because that's America is kind of more.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah, individual, woo! But like Japan's more like, you know, we're all in this together. Oh,
that song is very popular in Japan, you know.
Oh, gee, I wonder why.
It's very popular. I hear it all the time, probably uncredited and unlicensed on different variety shows.
Oh, the variety shows can get away with so much, man. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. But the point being is, like, so I could see why, so in an American adaptation, they can explore the other aspect of not just being, like, part of a collective, like, in the end of the Ghost in Shell, and I don't think it standalone complex sense that way, but it has a similar idea, like, you know, this collective net, and we're all connected, and the Major pretty much is like, I'm gonna go to cyberspace, bye, and, like, goes into cyberspace.
By the way, I just realized something. The plot twist was human trafficking.
God damn it. The second movie, the plot twist is human trafficking. I'm not even kidding.
We were making a joke. The plot twist of Innocence is human trafficking, and we were sitting in the theater, and she's like, is the plot twist going to be human trafficking?
And yes.
Yeah, it was.
More or less. I mean, human trafficking for a different reason, but yeah. Goddamn, you don't Ghost in the Shell. You and your weird, predictable plot twist. Predictable with a question mark.
It's predictable because Ghost in the Shell has, like, very concrete themes that they want to, like, hit you over the head with.
Oh yeah, they'll beat you until you fucking remember.
And that's like, okay, that is the one regard in which I can't recommend this movie, is like, if that's not your cup of tea, you're not gonna enjoy this.
I mean, that's true with like pretty much the majority of the Ghost in the Shell. I think the only thing that people might be okay with is maybe the standalone complex, because that is more focused on like story arcs and characters, but even that's pretty like hey guys, let's talk about philosophy.
Well, let's talk about Mamoru Oshii, and the thing that you need to know about Mamoru Oshii is that he doesn't care about plot or character or things like that. Like, it just, as long as it looks good.
Yep, same. And the mangaka is like that too, except it's okay, I just want to tell you about the stuff I know, like technology and society and all of that, and now it's just porn.
Tits and ass and tits and ass and tits and
ass. Yay, butts. There were a lot of butts in this movie.
There were a lot of butts.
Naked people, but you know.
I needed Bato to be wearing a coat so he could put it on the Major, but maybe that would be considered what's it when people think chivalry is just like being offensive to
like,
girls?
Crap, I can't remember the word.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. But
like holding doors open for girls.
Yeah, I was a little bit bummed that they didn't do that, because he's done that in every single incarnation before this, but
he still looked away when she was taking off.
He did, and I was like, there's the Bato I know.
And it was like every single iteration of Bato.
I love him and the Major's relationship so much, because it's never romantic. Not once in the entire series, from my memory, has her and Bato's relationship been romantic, and that's great because that's so rare between male and female characters like that, especially major ones, because it'd be so easy to do that, but they don't, and that always makes me happy every single time. And
I do like Bato.
Oh man, I like the actor playing Bato.
He's very good.
Oh yeah, he was excellent. Like,
and also,
everybody did a good job in this movie.
Okay, Scarlett Johansson's delivery of Motoko's lines was just spot on for me.
I think she's really good at playing those kind of outwardly characters, because I saw her in Lucy, which that movie was really weird really fast, and it's actually the opposite of the plot of Ghost in the Shell, where she becomes like this omnipotent god because of weird blue powder.
I didn't watch it. I didn't know that's what it was about.
Oh my god, you gotta watch it sometime. It's weird, and it's also one of those movies where it's like, Like the beginning of the movie, it's just he's like, "Nah, babe, just drop off this suitcase," and then there's like a footage of a lion eating a gazelle, and I was like, "Very nice."
Let me repeat: I don't watch American movies very much, and then it's like when I get dropped back into it, I'm like, "What happened?"
I do watch American movies a lot because I'm a really big movie nerd. So I mean, I've watched all sorts of them, but I do keep track of the American movies because, well, that's where I live. But
I always end up keeping track more of like Japanese release movies.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We could split our manpower that way.
Yeah. Anyway, this was nice. This like fell right in the middle.
It didn't it?
Beat Takeshi being in like on screen that much.
He was cool. I liked him, man.
And also all his lines are in Japanese, which was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I definitely recognize his name from somewhere because you said it, and I was like, oh, wait a second, I do recognize that name, but I can't remember where. He's probably been in an anime of some sort. Or a movie or something like that.
He's probably been parodied in anime.
You know, probably. So I probably do know of him, but I can't remember off the top of my head from where. But now I know from Ghost in the Shell, you know. But anyway, what was I saying before? Oh yeah, so I think she does. So like, and then there's a movie called Under the Skin where she's this alien thing. It's weird, but she is good at playing those kind of outworldly, kind of mysterious, monotone sounding characters, and so she did a really good job of sounding like as being the Major. I really do think she did a good job, man.
I'm really happy with her being cast.
I liked her. I liked Togusa.
Togusa's
complete with his terrible hair, and Bato was. Everybody was doing, including the characters they added in this movie, because they added more women. Basically,
they did add more women,
which is fine with me. They fit quite well. And, like, well, actually, the one lady, the scientist lady, who dropped her cigarettes and her alcohol.
she was in the second movie.
Yeah, she's in the second movie, so she's pretty much just a transfer over character. She had the same hairstyle, if I remember right,
and the same hands.
Same hands.
Creepy robot hands.
I'm so glad we got to see the long, weird robot hands. You guys, if you guys probably seen a GIF around the internet where like someone's
the hands like
unfold
and
just like like on the keyboard. Like
that's from Ghost in the Shell.
That is from Ghost in the Shell. So they had it in this movie.
It lets you hack faster.
It does. I'm still like, oh great, I get to see the creepy hands in live action. Thanks, Ghost in the Shell.
You know what? Actually, when that scene happened in the live action, I don't think I even reacted because I was just like, oh, it's the hands again.
And I went, fuck, it's the hands.
That's right. And then she went, fuck, it's the hands. And I was like, oh, I didn't even notice.
Granted, though, when you watch Ghost in the Shell, you just kind of go with whatever's going on with technology.
You kind of do. Oh, yeah, things that were in this movie that I was glad were in this movie. The Major ripping her own arms off.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm glad the Major's reckless.
Why does she keep
abandon of her body?
I mean, we discussed this before. Like, she treats her body as disposable, but it's just every
YOLO.
time.
So much YOLO. Like, no, Major, no. God, not again. You really could make a mini series called No Major, where it's like, don't take off your clothes in we're in public.
Bato like running after her.
Don't take off. No, your arm ripped again. Whatever. No, not whatever. It's expensive to fix that. Like, I would definitely read or watch something like a little comedy thing like that, because that'd be hilarious.
I'll say too, like, I like the funny moments between them, like on the team.
Yeah,
they are funny. And also, Togusa was the one who got to talk about the enhancement to drink more alcohol.
He's like, I can't believe you got the enhancement to drink more alcohol. He's like,
you gotta take advantage of the enhancements that are out there.
And he was like, yeah, no thanks, I'm fine. Because I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah,
also, Bato with normal eyes is really weird.
Oh my god, yeah, he gets his weird nickel eyes.
I was glad that he lost his eyes.
Me too, because I'm used to his quarter nickel eyes that you see in the show, because they are artificial. I know most people, when they glance at Bato,
they think it's weird glasses.
Yeah, but no, it's his eyeballs, dude. Like, so in this movie, he loses them via horrible explosion, but you know, it's the Ghost in the Shell, that happens. But so he just got these cool
cybernetic eyes,
cybernetic quarter eyes. It's great.
And it was like a tangible sigh of relief. It's like, oh, he's got his normal eyes.
I was like, oh my god. It happened pretty early in the movie, considering.
Yeah. So, and also, I actually like that, because I think for people who aren't familiar with Ghost in the Shell, they might not know like how the cybernetics work and stuff like that.
Plus, how casually everybody like goes with him. Like he lost his eyes, and he's like, "Oh no, I got night vision." And they're like, oh, "Okay," and just kind of goes with it. And I think that's pretty cool. I liked how this movie looked a lot. It looked really cool.
It was very colorful, pretty. Very bright, and it was like
very Fifth Element.
Like cyberpunk. Like, this is what cyberpunk should look like. Like, it doesn't have to be like dark and gritty and dirty and all that.
Listen, guys, not everything has to be Blade. Like, Come on. Or Blade Runner. Well, Blade and Blade Runner. But Blade is more of a vampire movie. But anyway, Blade Runner. Not everything has to be Blade Runners.
No, this movie was beautiful.
It was great. It looked beautiful.
I know Mamoru Oshii went on record as saying it's going to be the most glamorous, or not glamorous, but the
fabulous,
like the prettiest entry into the Ghost in the Shell series. And
that's
I'm
all he cares about.
And I'm just there's just so much like visual like scenery porn, and I'm like,
oh my gosh,
he probably really likes this.
I love how alive the city looked too. Like you could see, like like they did the same thing in the original movie, but I'm glad they translated it into live action because that doesn't always happen with Cyberpunk because it looks like empty and desolate, whatever. But no, you can see like all the ads, you can see all the people walking on the street.
Oh, it's sort of
all sorts of people. It's cool. It's
sort
so
of
cool.
Related. If you're gonna watch the original Ghost in the Shell, get the original one and not the weird remastered one.
Oh my god, the thing about the remastered, they basically put an orange filter on everything and put in weird CGI. So go watch the original. It's pretty easy to find, all things considering. Yeah. I got it from the library. That's how I first watched it. I watched it with my dad when I was in high school, and because I was like, Dad, this is what the Matrix is. Matrix is based. That's the hot version of the Matrix. God. Whoa. Anyway, whoa. Okay. My dad, so I was like, oh, Dad, this is what the Matrix is based off of. And he's like, okay, so we watched it. My dad fell asleep during the boat talking scene. And then he woke up near the end. He's like, what happened? And I think she and the Major and the other dude made into a new person. And now she's in the body of a child and movie's over. Oh, that's weird. And I was like, yeah, this is weird. I was so confused that I watched it again the next day just by myself. Because I was like, wait, what happened?
See, and this is my biggest fear about this movie is that Ghost in the Shell is not like an accessible story.
No, it's influential.
It's influential. Well, okay, so I got a couple different tangents here. First of all, if you want to watch an accessible version of Ghost in the Shell, it's The Matrix.
Yeah, or Standalone Complex is pretty accessible.
That too, but I'm just saying, like, if you
I started with.
If you wanted to watch a live action accessible remake of Ghost in the Shell, it's The Matrix.
Yep, go for The Matrix.
The second thing is that this is like an old ass movie, not that old. Yeah, I'm
95,
older.
Dude.
95.
I'm older.
I'm older too.
Oh man, I'm older than Ghost in the Shell.
Okay, but
my shell is sad.
This movie came out in 1995. It was highly influential from the beginning, to the point where we were talking about how there was, a review that you saw that said, oh, it's a good, pretty standard sci-fi flick, and it's like, well, the thing is, a lot of sci-fi pulls from Ghost in the Shell.
It is the sci-fi fic is the thing.
It's one of those Seinfeld is unfunny tropes.
It is. It's also like someone was like, oh my god, there's so much like talking about philosophical things, and it was really boring. And I'm like,
welcome to Ghost in the Shell.
You've never seen a Ghost in the Shell thing, I think. Methinks that a lot of people haven't seen Ghost in the Shell. People who have been reviewing this and talking about it online, that they haven't seen the movie, and I'm just like, can you guys watch the movie or at least watch the anime series before you talk about this? Because
it's hard because if you have those feelings about this movie, you're gonna have those feelings about Ghost in the Shell in general.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I just
this is more
you're either gonna like it or you're not.
This is for people who are Ghost in the Shell fans or people who are movie buffs, and it's for Japan.
Oh yeah, it's very much for Japan.
This is very tailored to Japan.
Oh, you want to know what I really liked about this movie? Mm-hmm. There was like no shaky cam.
There was absolutely none. You're right. It was very smooth.
A lot of wide shots.
A lot of the Major jumping off of fucking buildings, but that's how she rolls. Like, so I'm not gonna judge.
The cinematography was really good.
I like that ending shot when she like jumps up and have that part like in the movie where she like disappears. I like how they did that.
I mean, it's really good because it was taken from the animated movie.
Well, yes, but I like the recreation of it. A lot of the recreations I liked. I thought they were very good. I also like kind of the spins they took. Like they added like the geisha prostitutes. Great picture, whatever they call. What do they have names? I don't know. They called them geishas in the movie. The
gynoids, aren't they?
Gynoids
from the second movie.
Oh, okay,
those are specifically prostitute robots, but I mean these were just.
I'm just gonna call them entertainment robots. Okay, so
companion robots.
There you go. That is what they call them. Okay, so they have the companion robots, including the weird spider one that goes up the wall. I'm like, okay, that's fine, I guess. But I thought that was a cool like combination with shout out combination. Like they had a bunch of stuff. They basically just took the like I don't want to say like best of each part of the movie, but like
all of the things
parts from it,
like all the things that built up the world, and they just had the chance to combine them all into one film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the biggest difference I think between this movie and other Ghost in the Shell things, it's a little bit close to the anime where it's more character driven. This is driven by the Major story. That's what it's driven by. This is her story. Like in the original Ghost of Show, it's more like broad concept, not really focused on character arcs, really, or the story for that matter. But this is more. I guess that makes it more of a tightly knit story, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So I think that's the biggest difference. So like, I guess if you are in it for the more characters, you probably would be okay with this movie. That's why I would say, like, I guess the anime is more accessible because it does more standard fiction
storytelling.
Yeah, that's more standard storytelling, the manga or the movie or the other movie or Innocence is weird, man. Innocence is really weird, but it has dogs in it, and this movie does too.
This movie Basset Hounds. Yep, the Basset Hound was in the movie.
Yep,
and I was happy about that.
Yep, sure was. But they're the part, like, the guys.
I was afraid it almost wasn't going to be, and I was like, they tricked us because they had the 3 other dogs, and then the Basset Hound came up afterward.
Yep, the Basset Hound was like, there he is, there it is. In case you don't know, Mamoru Oshii owns a Basset Hound and loves Basset Hounds. Like, he loves.
Just puts them in everything.
So he puts them in pretty much everything, every single thing. And I think that's one of the big reasons why he approves of this movie is because they put Basset Hounds in. Bato owns a Basset Hound eventually, and the Basset Hound does not die, so we're all good. Like, I was saying, they're like, oh man, if they kill that Basset Hound, I'm pretty sure
I'm pretty sure that would single-handedly cause Oshii to, like, just dismiss the entire movie.
And spontaneously combust, maybe, but you know. we don't know, because they're smart enough not to do that. Don't anger him.
Man, it was good. I would go see it again.
I really liked it.
I just really want people to support it. And, like, if the only reason why you're not gonna go see it is because of the whitewashing, it's deliberate whitewashing. It's about whitewashing.
Yeah, it really is, actually. But at the same time, I can see why people would probably say, I don't really agree with this, is like, that, like, it should have been represented by someone who wasn't white or something along those lines. Or, like, did we need a white person to be our major focus to tell this kind of story? But
I think you did.
I think, yeah, honestly.
And this is okay. So, I mean, and not to say, like, I have white friends, but I do have white friends, and I've asked,
how's it going?
And I'm like, because I have my own worldview, and, my worldview is so shaped by my race, and I was like, for people who are white, who have grown up in America being white, like, what's it like? And one of my friends, told me that it's almost like not having an ethnicity, and, I mean, to me, that's... I can't understand that.
It is kind of like that. I mean, especially if you're American, like, we are a big old mix of everything. So as a result, we kind of don't have, like, a root culture, if that makes any sense. And America's really, really young compared to
300 years old baby.
Yeah, pretty much. This is a baby nation compared to, like, Japan or China or India or any all those other nations. Like, so I think as a result, like, we don't have I think that's, like, why we see so much uproar from certain groups of people to, like, things like other races or ethnicities or whatever, because they want to cling on to theirs, and not a lot of our history is that great. So
here, this is how it would have been handled poorly if her name was just Mira Killian. She was never Motoko Kusanagi. She was just a white person from a background, and a white background, and she just always was.
She's a fucking robot. Yeah,
this was so purposeful. Like,
it was. No wonder the directors were so goddamn confident, or director and the writers.
Very confident.
Because I was wondering to myself, actually, when all this controversy come out, they were like, no, go watch the movie. And I was like, why are you so dang sure of this? I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. But after seeing that movie and seeing the plot twist, yeah, I can see why they're so confident in it.
It's about identity. And it was such a, base, powerful thing to, be making this argument about identity on. And, like,
all sorts of identity, like her gender and her race, especially, I think, is the biggest ones from this movie in particular.
And I feel like sexuality would have come up
if it was rated R. If we had nipples, it would be here. No, it's okay. It doesn't have to cover everything at once, because when you try to cover everything at once, you get things like Glee. I use Glee as an example of those kind of things when they try to
never
cover
watched
too much.
Glee.
Good. Don't.
I don't watch American TV.
Don't ever watch Glee. It's not good. It's not worth your time.
But okay, but
it wasn't worth my time.
I just gotta say, like, this is my opinion coming from someone who is a racial minority, and it was really powerful, and I really think she did a good job with it. I'm really happy that they did this. Because this is the other thing, is that when there's American remakes of things from other cultures and movies, and a lot of times they're not good.
Dragon Ball.
I mean, not, okay. But when I watch remakes of things, I want to see things that could only happen in remakes. You know, if you just watch, you know, something that's dubbed into another language, you know, reshot and just dubbed into another language, and it's not trying to be like super meta about it, like it's just kind of boring.
It's like the remake of Psycho. They did that. So, like, the remake of Psycho, the director said he did this on purpose so no one would try and make a remake of Psycho, but it's a shot-for-shot remake with weird symbolism inserted in occasionally.
And, like, that's why it's
it's terrible. It's a terrible movie.
It's a terrible movie, but that's why it's great, because it's so meta. Like, it wasn't trying to be a good movie. It was trying to be a copy of Psycho. Right. And it's like, why would you ever do that?
Right, yeah. Well, some people are wondering if it was just saving face, but who knows? But point being is, like, the reason why that movie was good is because it was shot for shot, and Vince Vaughn was really awful as Norman, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. But point being is, like, yeah, when you make an adaptation or a remake, like, make it different, or just go watch the original. Like why do you need it when you have an original?
I'm trying to remember now, what's the Akira Kurosawa film that got remade into, like, a Western?
Oh, was it Seven Samurai?
Seven Samurai.
But it was like seven something or else.
It's the one where they come to a town and they're fighting and they need to, like, stop the fighting that's going on in this town.
It's not the Tombstone one. I know what you're talking about, though.
But, I mean, like that kind of thing, like, that could only be done in a remake. You know, it'd be stupid to have, like, white people being samurais and, like, going to a town and doing the same plot.
Yeah, like Tom Cruise. Last Samurai.
You want me to tell that story?
Yeah, you should. It's a funny story, I think.
Okay, so my mom is the side
Your mom is great, by the way.
That I get the Japanese side from. My mom, okay, to preface, I didn't even know Tom Cruise was, like, the star of Last Samurai, because that movie came out and my mom was just going on and on about Watanabe Ken this and Watanabe Ken that, and then we were watching the movie. She was so angry that Watanabe Ken died, and she told me, "That's so stupid. He was the best one. He should have lived. That white guy should have died on the battlefield because he's no good. Watanabe Ken was the good one. He should have lived." Anyway, so
your mom is so great, man.
My mom is.
She's something else, that's for sure. Would she go and see this movie?
No, because she doesn't like sci-fi.
That's true.
My mom
would she not even go for?
My mom likes drama, romantic flicks. My
mom
liked Twilight.
My mom didn't watch Twilight because it had vampires in it. She thought it would be too scary.
That said, my mom didn't like the Twilight movies, but she liked the Twilight books.
I mean,
well, she might. I don't know. She watched Hunger Games.
Hunger Games is better.
My mom is happy when there's a happy ending.
So is my mother.
I'd say this had a happy ending.
Oh, I see.
I think she'd be mad that the boy died, though.
Oh, yeah, she probably would.
I think she'd be really upset.
Yeah, maybe she would, but I don't know, maybe your mom would be okay with this movie. I mean...
Well, actually, my mom might watch it because Beat Takeshi's in it.
I was gonna say, she would watch it because famous man, he only speaks Japanese in the entire movie. Like, I was sitting there watching the movie, and I was like, why is he speaking Japanese the whole time? And then Fuji told me about who he was, and I was like, oh, that's why, to appeal to the Japanese audience. Yeah. There you go.
The way that they'll probably release it in Japan is they'll subtitle it. They don't usually dub over live action movies.
Yeah, and that means that when they don't have to
sub him. Yeah.
They'll be just like, oh, he's speaking Japanese. That makes it great. Instant improvement.
I was just thinking of, okay, this is an example of stuff. One time, me and my family went to a quote-unquote Japanese restaurant here in town, and they're pretty good. They're pretty good, but my mom got ramen, and there was, like, chili powder or something in the ramen, and my mom was like, no, it's not authentic Japanese. I don't want to eat here anymore. And I was like, Mom, please.
Mom, don't make a scene. No.
By the way, my mom is the one that side of the family's been here for a long time, but she did live in Japan for a while. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's not like she speaks, you know, Japanese all the time to us or anything like that, but, so, I mean, this is all in English, okay? It's kind of embarrassing when we're in a restaurant and it's like, have the decency to say it in Japanese so no one can understand you.
No, she must let everybody know her opinion on it.
My mom doesn't care.
No, your mom does not care. Oh, man. One of these days, you know what, speaking of Ken, going back to Ken Nagi for a second, we should watch Sea of Trees.
Yeah.
He turns into a flower.
I know.
We'll go back to that. Anyway, let's go back to Ghost in the Shell for a minute here. Ghost Shell. Anyway, I'm in a shell and I am a ghost. Spooky. It's too spooky.
See, and I wonder how this film is gonna, like, come off to people who aren't familiar with Ghost in the Shell. Like,
oh my god. Well, I've seen a little bit with the early reviews, actually, because there's some people like, oh, it's too like navel gazing, or oh, there's not enough action, or oh, this is like standard sci-fi, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yep, it sure is.
It is. I mean, I feel like it's a really good movie that just has the unfortunate, like, it's come out 20 years too late.
Whoops. There were people like, I saw someone like, oh, this is just like The Matrix. It sure is.
It sure is.
So I would say if you're gonna go see this movie, or if you want to know if you're gonna like this movie, watch the
original Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell.
If you like that.
If you think it's, or at least think it's okay, or at least think it's nice, then go ahead and give it a go ahead and give this movie a go.
Fair warning, it took me 3 times watching the original Ghost in the Shell to like understand what's going on. I still don't understand. We were watching it today and I was like, is this the terrorist plot or is this the puppet master
There is
plot?
no terrorist plot. It's all, is it real? Are we real?
Are we real?
Am I a body?
I don't know. I mean, I treat you like you're real.
Is my cat real? I don't know.
Be real.
Is my cat real? What do you think?
Well, you never know. Maybe someone's hacked your ghost.
Oh my god, oh, you hacked my cat. No, Shadow, I'm sorry. Oh, he ran away. I guess his ghost is fine. My ghost is doing okay, I think. What about yours?
My ghost is tired.
Hello, tired ghost. Taste me.
Okay, I think we are clearly losing focus here.
A little bit. Okay, so do you got anything else to comment on this movie?
Go see it.
I say, yeah, go for it.
It's good.
If you are interested in anime stuff, go for it. Like, if you remember this, like, if you're one of those people that saw this movie, like, in the 90s, and this was your, like, gateway into anime, yeah, go see it. Go. You'll probably have a good time.
I think if nothing else, it's the best homage you could have done.
Also, this is most definitely the best anime live-action
adaptation
that I've seen. Or, yeah, live-action adaptation that I've seen, period. And I liked Speed Racer.
That's because Speed Racer is a stupid show.
The Wachowskis, I think they did pretty good with Speed Racer, but I know a lot of people don't like it, and granted it's not a very good movie. That's because Speed Racer is not very good.
I mean, if you went back, the only reason why people like Speed Racer is because they're nostalgic for it.
Yeah, because it was on TV.
It's like if you go back and you watch 80s Voltron.
Oh my god, 80s Voltron. If you have Netflix right now, 80s Voltron is on there.
80s Voltron is on there.
Go
Go Lion is on Crunchyroll too.
Oh yeah, watch it dub because then you'll laugh a lot, especially at Paige's voice, because I don't think they knew what children sounded like. So they just sound like on helium in a high pitched voice. Yeah, that sounds about right. He sounds like Kermit on helium, basically, in the Go Lion. But anyway, yeah, this is definitely the best one. Like, period. Like, it had a low bar to clear, granted, but it's pretty dang. I think it's
I'll say I'm gonna amend that. It's the best American remake or American live action anime adaptation.
Right, like
there's tons of anime adaptations in Japan, and they vary wildly in quality.
I'm sure they do.
There was a Dragon Ball adaptation years ago.
Oh yeah, there was, wasn't there? There's been Death Note. There's been
tons of Death Note. For the record, I'm going on record. I don't even care about an American remake of Death Note because I've seen too many live action Death Note movies, and they all get something wrong.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, I was more worried about Ghost in the Shell because this is Ghost in the Shell's only live-action movie, and this is their first one, and if it doesn't do that great, I mean, it's gonna... Also,
Ghost in the Shell is way more iconic than Death Note.
Oh, definitely. Which is funny, because, like, when they announced the movie from Netflix, they were like, oh, it's the international sensation Death Note!
Yeah, international, like, banned in China.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't it banned? It's banned somewhere, but, with Death Note, I don't know. I mean, what I'm more worried about when it comes to Death Note is how they'll tell the story and if they'll tell it well, but we won't know until August, so we got a long time to wait, so I'm not gonna worry myself too much about it just yet. We got a while to go. But, yeah, this is the American anime live-action adaptation. That's a really long sentence, but better than Dragon Ball, better than Speed Racer, better than what else has happened in here.
Oh, what else has happened?
I'm just gonna say Last Airbender, even though it's technically not anime. It's way better than Last Airbender.
Would you consider Hunger Games to be a remake of Battle Royale?
I would say it's more of an homage because only the first one is like Battle Royale.
That's true.
Like, it's more of an homage to it, so I would say no. Especially since they don't explode their heads, usually. Battle Royale. You see a lash out. Actually, there was a movie that came out. I can't remember what it was. I think it's like the Something Experiment, and it's basically Battle Royale and Danganronpa, but in an office. Apparently, it wasn't good.
That's a shame.
Right? I was just like, huh, it's interesting, but I was reading, I saw some reviews for it, plus it's not really my movie, so I wouldn't watch it anyway.
I can't imagine you watching something like that.
No, I already got through Danganronpa, and I have seen, I almost said School Days, but I have seen School Days, yes. Battle Royale. They're a little bit different. Actually, no, they're pretty similar in some respects, but not anyway, I watched Battle Royale because I was like, okay, young Mary, you are like watching, you gotta watch all the stuff because you gotta know all of the weeaboo crap. Yeah, okay. And then I watched Battle Royale, and I was like, why did I watch this? I didn't watch the sequel. Though I heard that one was not good anyway. I didn't know there was a sequel for a while. I was like, wait, there's a sequel? Okay. But where was I going with that? Anyway, I don't think there's any other anime adaptations off the top of my head.
Not like direct adaptation. I mean, I'm sure there's,
influence
in the Matrix.
Thankfully, there's been no Pokemon ones, though they've talked about it a few times. But I don't want a Pokemon one. No, thank you.
We'll see how it goes.
Oh my god, no, I don't want it, man. I just don't. It's just not gonna work in live action.
I do want to see a live action Akira.
I do. I really hope that goes through. I would say I would like to see a live action Evangelion, but right now the copyrights are being heavily disputed, and they're pretty much in the courts right now. So we're probably not going to see that for a while. So
I want to see live action 79 Gundam.
Yeah.
With like not like young attractive actors, but like old grizzly men.
Yeah, we'll go bring back the old grizzly men war movies. Woo!
Ramba Rawls.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, I also really want live action Cowboy Bebop because I really think that would
work really well.
Good because it is made for a Western audience. It was based off of Western TV shows. The Cowboy Bebop was, and even its music is also like that. All of its episodes are named after songs or albums or bands from like states, basically. If I'm wrong on that, then correct me. But like I would love to see that. I don't know, are there any other adaptations
I can't think of any.
You know what? I'd be really curious to see if they try an Attack on Titan one, but then everyone would be like, oh, it's Pacific Rim, but without the robots.
Okay, and I'm gonna go on record too, and this might say something about my taste, but I liked the live action Attack on Titan movies because I don't like the manga.
Well, it's because the manga's kind of went off in a weird direction. I haven't seen the live action movies of Attack on Titan.
I went to go see Attack on Titan because I wanted to see giants eating people, and that's exactly what I got, and I was very happy.
There you go. I mean, if that's what you're going for.
That is what I went for, and I was super happy about it.
Man, it's like going to a Jurassic Park movie and expecting dinosaurs eating people. You'll get that 100%. There you go. Then you'll be satisfied. But yeah, I haven't seen that. I don't know what else could be adapted here. They're wild. This is ages ago, but people talked Naruto, but I don't think that's gonna come back. I think that was just passing.
I don't even know what they would adapt from Naruto. That's so long,
right? I don't know. Like
this worked because it's like, okay, a couple movies, a couple anime seasons, and it's like it worked as a movie.
Yeah. Also, it has a concept that's like something you could make your own, if that makes any sense. Like with Naruto, it's very specific, like this is a ninja village and how Naruto wants to be the Hokages, and
she's making the dumbest pose. The Hokage pose.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I
should draw a picture of that.
You should do it if you want to, of course. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So got Naruto. I don't think that would. It's just not a story that'd be easy to adapt into a different story. If that makes any sense.
That makes sense.
I mean, there's stage plays, of course, because there's always a stage play. But
so many stage plays.
I that's different than film. That's really different than film. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Not Bleach would not work. Oh my god, live action in Yasha.
Should do live action Black Butler.
Yeah. You know what? It would probably work. I would see live action Fullmetal Alchemist.
I mean, that's coming out.
Oh, yeah, in Japan, but I'd be interested to see what American adaptation.
Oh, I totally thought we were just talking about live action in general.
Oh, I was talking live action in general, but I'd be like, oh, I know there's one coming out in Japan. I'd be like, oh, interesting.
I heard my grandpa watched the Kenshin movies, and he said they were really good.
Yes, I've heard they're pretty good. I'm not really interested in that franchise, though, so I don't know, it's just not for me. I tried watching it a while ago, and I was like, I'm bored. Next.
I'm staring at the DVD for Penguin Drum right now, and I'm trying to imagine a live-action Penguin Drum.
A live-action Uta.
They could do that.
I mean, they could, but in Penguin Drum, I don't know.
Surprise! That's the revival that we've been expecting.
No.
Has anyone else noticed that all these '90s anime have been coming back?
God, I'm kind of terrified if they try to remake Utena, man. Oh my god. I don't know if I want that, dude. Oh, no, wait, listen. Best secret hard one to adapt, live action Yurikuma.
That might work as a movie.
Oh my god. What
But Yurikuma is based on a movie too, isn't it? Or the visuals are based on
the visuals are based off of Hitchcock movies, and they're based off of I cannot. It's a German film. Italian? No, it's Italian.
Italian.
Oh yeah, it's an Italian horror movie called Suspiria. No, I can't pronounce it. Basically, a girl's in a ballet school, and it turns out
everyone dies horribly.
Everyone dies horribly. And it's inhabited by a cult of witches. It's really fucked up, and the blood looks like someone dumped all gallons of paint on everything because it's stylistic. That's what it's supposed to be.
Sure.
So if you can handle like that, then you could probably watch the movie. But it's definitely based off of that. But I don't know. I don't know how Yurikuma. After rewatching Yurikuma, I don't really think that, but because I haven't watched it since it first aired. But I don't know what other anime could be adapted. I'm like looking over my shelf.
Oh, Madoka.
Oh my god. Granted, I would think that'd be pretty cool to see the witches, how they would do the witches in CGI or whatever.
Ooh, what studio would you hire to do the CGI?
Oh.
You should get Leica to do the stop motion.
You know what? I think Leica would do a really good job. Because
while we're throwing out these,
actually that does make
wish list things.
It would make sense if Leica did it because in the show, all the witches are animated differently than the girls all the time. Like every single time they're animated differently. So like they're usually like kind of puppet like anyway. So having them be stop motion would be absolutely terrifying and also work really well. So maybe, I don't know, maybe people might find that movie too bleak. I guess we'll see if that ever happens.
My mom would not go see that movie.
No?
No.
It doesn't have a happy ending.
Not happy enough.
Nah. My mom wouldn't like it either. My mom is... Well, if you guys listen to the Disney recordings, you would know my mom is not one...
Just listen to the Disney recordings.
Yeah, listen to the Bambi one.
There's too many stories.
Yeah, listen to the Bambi one specifically. If you want to know stories about my mom not liking sad things in movies. But, yeah, let's see. Anything else you want to, like, bring up about ghost shells, shelling my ghost, burn my dread?
I can't believe you yelled that in the theater.
I did. Well, there's only you, me, and like 2 other people.
That's true. Which made me sad. More people should go see this movie.
Well, granted, we are at a local theater in a not very... the theater that we went to is not super popular. No,
it's not. It's old and kind of crappy.
Yeah, it's old and kind of crappy. And the most people I've ever seen in there, I think... It was like one of the big name movies, like in the winter... I think it was Rogue One was the most crowded I've seen that theater.
Yeah, that's true.
That was easily the most crowded, but that's Star Wars, and Star Wars is a different category on its own at this point. So
that's true. I mean, people probably came here because they could actually get tickets.
You know what? I think that's why we even had 2 people there. I was hoping it would be just us, just because I thought it would be, like, funny, but whatever, we can't have everything we want.
I mean, if it was just us, I would actually love it if it was just us, because then we could be screaming about Bato the whole time.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, she's naked again. In the middle of the movie theater. Like, oh, there goes the major being a dramatic motherfucker.
We should see if we can get, like, a matinee showing and go, and it'll probably just be us.
What? If we go really early, maybe.
Oh, we should do that.
Let's plot later. Okay,
we're coming up on almost an hour here, so.
Yeah, I say go see it, like, and if you are worried about, like, uncomfortable nonsense, I say, like, if you haven't seen the Ghost in the Shell before, watch it beforehand, and then go see it, and keep an open mind about it, like, really. I know that a lot of people, like, say that, like, when Gods of Egypt was coming out, for example, that fucking movie, like, and there was, like, a lot of whitewashing in that movie, like, a lot, because, it's white people playing Egyptians. Anyway, the people were like, oh, give the movie a chance, you never know, but, like, and then it ended up being incredibly crappy and looking like a PS1 game, like, but no, I'm serious about, like, Ghost of the Shell. It's not like that, or Pan. We have both seen Pan.
That's just not a good movie.
Oh my god.
Like, whitewashing aside, that's just a bad movie.
Oh my god. It also was really, it was so distracting. Tiger Lily doesn't look like that, guys. She doesn't look like Rooney Mara. Oh my god. But anyway.
But I repeat again, like, the whitewashing is so deliberate here, and it's important. And I think just it's not something.
I can't believe it, man. It's great.
I'm glad that they did it. You know, even if it doesn't land for everyone, I'm glad that they did it and they tried, because I think it's something that you wouldn't be able to do with every story.
No, and this is a perfect story to do that with.
You know, to make that kind of statement with, and so that was really important, I think, to me watching.
Yeah, I really. It's better than it sounds, basically. Like, if you hear the plot twist, like, beforehand, it is better than it sounds. Like, I swear, it is. As much of a word you could take from me, and, you know. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, okay, so I guess we'll wrap up and go to bed like big kids we are, because, you know, we got jobs and shit.
Yep.
Okay, thanks for tuning in.
Oh, also, and then when you go, there's no after credits. But just stay to the credits because it plays that song.
Oh yeah, you know the I want to
the chanting one.
The chanting one, like if you've seen anything Ghost in the Shell related, you'll know,
what
that is.
It was cool. It was cool to hear that in the theater.
Also, the soundtrack's pretty kick-ass.
It is.
It sounds really good.
I like it a lot.
I think I'm gonna look it up after this. But anyway, yeah, it plays that song. Wait for the credits for that, and then you go, yes, finally, the weird chanting music that they play, which is, it's a wedding thing,
It's a
right?
wedding song, yeah.
Okay, I thought so, like, oh my god. Anyway, yeah, alright, yeah, go see Ghost in the Shell if you weren't so inclined. Alright, I finished up. What do I say to finish this up? I'm afraid of no ghost.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.